Hello. Um, I started streaming a little late today and got off to a late start. I also probably won't be streaming for very long, and I'm probably just going to be debugging stuff the whole time. So, yay! Big day. Um, Also, I might be bobbing up and down at some point, and at some points, and that's only because I'm sitting on a small exercise device. I haven't been getting much exercise lately, so I'm gonna try and multitask a little bit. Uh, Hope that doesn't get too distracting. Um, so yeah, the what I'm working on today, or what we're looking at here, is an older project that, well, I mean, not that old. I made it at the beginning of the summer, and uh, someone was so kind as to point out recently that on my website, this project's just loading to a blank blue screen. So it used to work for me, or like it worked on my other computer, and I wonder if it still works on my other computer. Hold on, I'm just gonna check in the background quickly, because I'm guessing it's like some like oh, it actually does still work on my other computer. So I don't know if it's like based on the version of Unity, or I don't know what's going on exactly, but I'm gonna, I don't know, see if I can't do something about that. It doesn't make a super lot of sense to me that it would just start doing that, or like yeah, no, I honestly don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna see if I can figure that out. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of exercise in. If I can like whenever I get like super focused on something, I'll stop. So I kind of have to like actually remind myself to do that. We'll see how that works out. That might be the last that anyone hears of it. All right, so yeah, I had the project running on my other computer and it seemed fine. Oh, and if you're curious to see what fine looks like, it's this is it. It's like, oh, are we getting weird errors? Is that? No, we're playing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's this. It is a game where you have some spheres, you have some bricks, you have some like capsules, and there's like color coding to all of these things. You might be able to deduce just from what we're watching here that yeah, the shapes or the tone of the various objects is fairly pertinent. In fact, the for example, like the red bricks, the red ball, the red sphere just bounces right off the white and black bricks, but it can destroy the red bricks. So yeah, it's kind of it's supposed to be like kind of like frenetic, arcadey, brick breaker type game with a challenge factor added by this like multi-sphere coordination sort of. Also, if you haven't picked up the way I'm controlling the spheres, or the reason the spheres are moving, I have kind of, I call it the nexus. It's basically just like it's like a spot on the map that I can drag around that the orbs all gravitate towards. So like here they just kind of like bounce around when I'm not pressing anything, and then as soon as I click, they'll all start gravitating towards the nexus, or whatever you want to call it. You might have noticed there was an odd icon that popped up here and there, and a few of the HUD elements have changed colors. That's because, see, like the bar at the top just turned from black to white. So the odd multicolored icon can get picked up by any of the spheres, and depending on what sphere picks it up, I guess it's like a power of sorts. So it's like, oh, here it is. So the red one turns the bricks into capsules, essentially. So you you don't bounce off them. You can just like glide right through them, and that makes it a lot easier to clear the screen, especially in the later stages. Oh yeah, we saw the the darker one earlier, and that one is that one affects the timer bar at the top of the screen, as you may have noticed. It affects the timer and score bar. Oh, sorry, I'll get back to that. Here's the white one. It makes literally everything light. So everything bounces off everything, everything collects everything, or everything clears everything. That one also makes the board a lot easier to clear. Although it tends to clear out a chunk of the board rather than evening out and smoothing out the overall map. Yeah, I haven't updated this project in a while. Oh, I never described the dark power. The dark power slows down time. It slows down the timer bar at the top of the screen, and it also gives you score. It just like feeds you score. So if you can chain those, unlike the other power-ups, which run for like a limited duration and then stay off for a while, you can actually chain the dark power together and just basically keep it going and just keep your score constantly ticking upwards. Also, the game ends when we're not too far off. We're like a few minutes away from the end of the game, which is when like the rate of bricks just becomes so constant that like eventually your the orbs just kind of get like trapped essentially. Because so for example, if like the red orb gets trapped entirely in dark and light bricks, then there's really nothing it can do, and so right. So yeah, just for the steadily increasing pace of the waves of bricks and capsules. Oh no, my power up! Help! Get the power up. Okay, good. It's really it's really hard to miss a power up, because if you miss one, then I mean, like, they're all so beneficial that, like, if you miss one, you're at a pretty strong disadvantage. Okay, oh yeah, see here, the dark power is activated and our score is just constantly ticking upwards, time has slowed down, and it again, doesn't last forever, and actually as the game goes on, the power-ups, as well as the waves, get faster and faster, but, yeah, that's most of what there is to the game. This is a quick project. The original version that didn't have, before I had the power-ups, I only really worked on it for like a week, and I had the first playable up the first day, and then I spent the rest of the week like refining it. The first playable is kind of hilarious. It's actually on my website. If you go to srsly.bz/grav/p1, that you can see how this all began. You might have noticed, like, in this game that I'm playing here on screen. Oh no, this is pretty much the end. It's nearly over. You can see the board the board never entirely clears. Like so it's like just filling in more and more each wave. I'm fighting off the tides, but I lost my train of thought. I was talking about like the origin of the build. Oh yeah, and actually, the reason the URL to the first playable build ends in P1 is because I named it P1 for first playable. And then if you do like P2, P3, P4, P5, you can kind of see like the evolution of the project over the first week. And I think I forget what I'm up to. I mean, they're up to like P6 or P7. Whichever is the last one, whichever is the one hosted just on like, srsly.bz/grav. That's the latest version. That is the one wherein I added these power ups. Science magic. Okay. I'm actually not that bad at this game. I play it. I played it for like an entire week straight when I was making it, and then I played it for like a lot more when I was like working on the power ups and stuff. So I'm actually pretty good at hitting like the right spots of the board. Like, see, it's some people. One of the criticisms of this game is that there's not strategy to it, which is actually not true. It's not overt how the game plays out strategically, but really what you have to pay attention to in order to get good at it is, or in order to keep playing, is to see essentially like what are the weaknesses of the board. Because if you see the board has like a mess of like patchwork where like every tile is a different color, that's really dense. That's really hard to penetrate, because in order to get through that, you have to, you can't just like send in like a wrecking crew. You have to get you have to like alternate like hitting like each of the three different orbs at like the exact right brick. And I don't know if you can tell just by watching, or if you've tried the web link and have experienced it firsthand. Like these these orbs are a little hard to control, especially with any like sense of precision. So it's kind of about reading the map. It's about okay, this is probably the end of the game here. It's about like finding like where you'll get the most bang for your buck. It's about hunting down those power-ups almost more than anything. And like, for example, in situations like this, when one of the spheres gets like, oh yeah, okay, well, that's the end of the game. Yeah, in the situations where one of the spheres gets like entombed, you have to free that thing as fast as possible, because having one sphere out of commission, it'll at least reduce your productivity by like like a third. Yeah, and then you get this state here, which is the game over. And if you click it again, it just like starts back at the beginning again. But all right, yeah, so that's that game. And so it seems to still work here. That's good. I was thinking like the fact that it's not play. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna orient the camera. Okay. The fact that it's not working on the website, I was thinking it might have to do with like the fact that the PC that I made this on, I'm working on my laptop now, but the PC that I made it on is a little older, and it's probably running an older version of Unity. I don't know if that's at all related, but let's try building this and see what happens, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so what? Web player. Build settings. Yeah, that all looks normal. Let's fire it up and see what goes. See how it goes. So right, gravity build. Okay, P6 is the Science Magic update. I think P1 through 4 was the first week, and then P5 was the Android port. Maybe something like that. And then P6 was Science Magic. I guess I'll call this P7. I'm not really changing anything. I'm probably gonna call this P7, and then I'm gonna keep calling it P7 until like I actually change it and like add anything to it to make it a different build than like P6. And I do have some. There are some things that I know I have to change to it. For example, a lot of people don't understand the timer bar. Like that's like the biggest piece of feedback that I've been getting. Please just work. No, you're supposed to just work. Okay. All right. So the timer bar at the top of the screen, it ticks down to, well, it doesn't tick down until you get through the tutorial screen. But then it ticks down. Go. See, the spheres are a little tricky to control. So first it counts up between rounds, and then at the start of the round, it'll start to count down again. And it only counts until you clear all of the capsules, but that's like something that people don't seem to get. I think people tend to get more focused on the bricks, which is smart, because the bricks are really like what will ruin the game for you ultimately. You can't get you can't get entombed in capsules, but people don't seem to understand why that's happening. So I don't know. I don't have a plan for exactly how I'm going to change that, but it is something that I know needs to change for this ever to become a finished product. And then I don't think I had super much planned for it. Oh, I mean, like, I've been toying with the idea of making like a quote-unquote sequel to this game, or like calling this like the 0.5 version, and then actually making a version with like, instead of randomly generated levels, like actually like designed levels, like hand-authored levels. I'm not sure about that. I don't feel that it's necessary, although enough people have voiced it as like that's not necessarily the project that I wanted to make. Although a lot of people seem to agree that would be a nice project. So who knows? Maybe it's a project that I'll grow to want to make at some point. Okay. Pro tip: you can get the power-ups, but you can get the power-ups on like between phases because the or between waves because the power ups don't tick down between waves. They only tick down during rounds. So yeah, pro tip. Uh, I'm just playing the game again, and I've gotten thoroughly distracted, and I'm doing nothing except just play the game. So, yeah, part of that's because, like, I don't know why it's just not working in the other... I just don't know why it's not working on this computer. It works fine on my other computer, and then on this computer... Oops, sorry, just one moment. I'm just sliding my stairs back a step. Yeah, and then on this one it just gives the blank screen. What is that about? Why are you doing that? Unity player. And another fun thing is that the project that I was working on yesterday on my website and put up on my website, it's not linked from the main site, but that's because it's not really a portfolio piece. I made it for a game jam. I built it in Unity, and I put it up on my website. I think. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. I remember putting it up on my website. I've looked at it on my website. Web page not available? Well, that is crazy talk. There. Okay, yeah, cool. I hit it again and then magically available. Alright, I don't know what that's about. But yeah, as you can see, like, this one actually does load. It's a different sort of game. It's a little bit special. But it loads, so, like, what's the difference? Oh. I know one thing that we're doing in that other game that is maybe screwing it up. We do some stuff on startup to make sure that the camera is in the right position, but I'll try disabling that and seeing what happens then. So what is it? It's on the main camera, and it's a script zoom on the main camera, which mono develop. Sorry, I'm just gonna slightly adjust my window sizes because so important. Window sizes are the most important thing in any software development setup. That's not even slightly true. That doesn't even begin to be true. It's not even reminiscent of something true. Alright, sorry. It's so important. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to disable the camera thing. I don't know. This probably is not going to have any effect whatsoever. But I'm going to disable it anyways and see what that, etc., etc. Build and run. Do it, and work. Just magically work for no reason. Yes, it magically works for no reason. That's one of my favorite things. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Yep. All right. All right. I see how it is. Alright, wait, so, okay, I do have one idea. And that is, no, that's just weird. That's just weird and doesn't make sense. I disapprove. I disapprove of this entire, everything that's happening here. But I do have, no, okay. That was my one idea. I was going to switch to this resolution and see if that... Oh, wait, no, yeah, no, I was going to switch to this resolution and enable the camera script to see if that screws everything up. Is it just this resolution? No. No? Still fine. So, I don't, yeah, no, I really, so, oh yeah, so part of the disclaimer at the beginning of the stream about how it's going to be an interesting stream is that, I'm probably going to be, like, slamming my head against stuff that I don't completely understand, and I'm probably going to get a little frustrated at some points. And there's going to be, like, some head scratching going on, like this, for example, lots of head scratching. And, I don't know. I mean, like, now I just want to be like, okay, then for the web version, disable the camera adjustment, because the camera adjustment isn't even for the the web version. The web version has a fixed fixed aspect ratio. It doesn't change. It's literally like it's literally exactly this is the aspect ratio. These are the exact dimensions of the web player, and yet the website version just chooses not to work for whatever reason. It's exact same aspect ratio, literally the same size in every regard. But so I don't. Okay, I digress. Wow, look how tiny the text is here. Is that a hint? I think I'm doing something with the text as well. Score. Yeah, Score has another script that it regulates the text size based on, I think based on like the aspect ratio, or not the aspect ratio, based on like the actual size, like the actual size of the screen, and it does that so that like, because I actually have ported this game to Android, sort of. I mean, I have it running on Android, and so like, for example, like if Android devices just have like different size screens, and so the script changes the size of the score font, the score text, just to keep it from like doing that, for example, getting all like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like super huge and it's overlapping the game field and everything. So what were we even doing in that script? Like this script, like look at that. Camera.orthographic size equals 3.75f times display.main.rendering height divided by display.main.rendering width. I think the 3.5 is based on, I think it's because like the orthographic size starts at 5 and I want a 3:4 aspect ratio. I think that's how we came up with the number 3.75. Oh yeah, so then I also noticed that like when I was porting it, it scaled in, like Unity auto scaled it in one dimension. Like I think when the screen like flattened, or when the aspect ratio, when like the game got like crushed on the top and bottom, like the game automatically scaled like inwards. Like Unity handled that automatically, and I think I just had to, I don't know, this was a while ago, but I remember I only had to like have it handle one of the cases. So like when the orthographic size is less than 5, like we didn't have to actually change anything. I wonder if it just isn't like the intermediate. No, the orthographic size in this case, like in the case that the web player is experiencing, like it really should just be experiencing that camera.orthographic size in this equation equals 5, because like the height, height divided by width is going to come out with 4/3 because of the fixed ratio that we're using, and 4/3 times 3.75 is 5. So there should be no so wait, actually hold on, let's see what the camera orthographic size is set to for starters, because like I think the camera orthographic size should be set to 5 for starters. Yes, size 5. So really what should be happening in that, with or without the script, like, okay, so without the script the orthographic size should just be 5. With the script, the orthographic size should start out as 5 and then calculate to 5. So how the script is making any difference whatsoever, I'm not enthusiastic about. Like if there's legit something right here that did not make sense to me, like I would be like, oh, okay, let's fix that. But no, couldn't even do that. It just had to come out weird. So what then? So okay. maybe it doesn't like that we're changing the orthographic size at all. So what if instead of orthographic size, what if we just did so how about so we're not going to touch the camera orthographic size yet. We're just going to say so float COS camera orthographic size equals this that we were calculating, and then we'll say if so then instead of saying if camera orthographic size less than 5, camera orthographic size equals 5, we'll just say COS. If COS is greater than 5, COS equals 5. And then oh, actually no. Yeah, we don't actually. We can change that. We don't. Instead of say we can just say if camera orthographic size is greater than 5, which it won't be for the web player, or at least it would be weird if it was for the web player. I wonder if this is like a weird rounding thing with floats. I don't know. Okay. Oh wait, rendering height is an int. Is that what's weirding it up? I don't know. Be a float. You too. I just don't trust ints in division. I want to trust him. What? Where's that? Oh, because I just left this all weird. Okay. So then, if camera orthographic size is greater than 5, then camera dot orth what? What was it called? I thought it was just called camera dot orthographic size. Camera with a little c. Probably. Camera with a little c. Okay. Oh yeah, redo is Control-Shift-Z in mono develop, whereas I'm pretty sure it's Control-Y in Unity. Apparently, those guys couldn't agree. Okay, so camera or so now only in the case that the orthographic size is greater than 5, only in the case that it actually has to change, will it actually change. And then the world will live in peace and harmony, and web players will actually not just load to a blue screen. But yeah, sure. All right, so but it all happens in the same line. All right. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, it couldn't hurt to. I hate parentheses. I mean, I don't hate parentheses. I try to be frugal with parentheses. My background's in mathematics, so if that is what is the problem, I will continue to load Unity. I'll load them more openly. In fact, there's no reason that if it's multiplication and division that should have. And if if that is the cause, if those parentheses save the day, I will think up a sternly worded letter to Unity and not send it. All right, so let's re-enable our. Oh, we did. Okay, I already re-enabled the script. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Fingers crossed. Is that good? Is that what we wanted? Seems good, right? Because this is the computer that can't play it. Wait, what? No, did I forget to? Where's the? Yeah, the script's enabled. And then, huh? All right, so maybe it's just working now. Maybe one of those two things just fixed it. All right, I have to. While we're on the topic of parentheses, I have to find out if that's what did it, because if that is what did it, I basically just need to know whether I should feel strong amounts of loathing, how strong the amounts of loathing I should feel are. So I think I just saved it. So let's try rebuilding it and see if it works now. This is not a productive thing that I'm doing right now. This is just me indulging my own whims. Alright. For some reason I don't remember re-enabling the script, and I have like a lingering hunch that it actually didn't fix anything. Oh, well, actually, so on the topic of things that aren't fixed, I guess I don't really have to build it again, but just running it again. What's up with the score? Look at this. Look how tiny the score is. Look at that. Sorry. Why is it doing that? I'm inclined to wonder. And actually I'm inclined to find out, because that's weird. The only reason kind of like how there's no particular reason for the camera to change its orthographic size. The only specific reason for the score to get smaller is if the I forget how I set it up. All right, so yeah, there's values and stuff and other things going on. Yeah, this is the part that we're interested in. The other stuff regulates the height. So what is C? C is the float for current orthographic size. Oh, orthographic size, huh? Clearly ruining everything. Huh. So, for some reason it thinks we have a microscopic orthographic size. So when it was setting the orthographic size to 5, why does it think our orthographic size is so small? Oh, yeah, right. I actually didn't come here to fix anything. I just came here to find out what's wrong. And I was gonna... Oh, yeah, so I was just gonna print stuff. Print... So let's... Okay, so... Oh, this is happening on update? I think I meant to... Oh, right, no. It happens on update, but it only happens once. Okay, yeah, because it had to happen after the camera script. Okay, yeah, let's print out C. Just to see what's going on there, and also print out the font size, I guess, because why not? Yeah, okay. And then build and run. So yeah, here it'll probably print something entirely sensible, right? It prints that the orthographic size is 5 and that the font size is 66, which we can even look and see is the case. Right, so let's see. Oh wait, you can't. No, I didn't mean to print it because we're building it. So hold on, wait, no. So not print. What is it? GUI text dot text equals that. So it'll just say yeah. So it'll just like quote unquote print it directly to the GUI text label itself. So for example, if we do this, oh, but then it gets slammed by the script that actually like makes the score show reasonable things, which I'm pretty sure is on item manager. Yeah, the oddly named place items script, I'm assuming is what. So let's find score.gui. No, okay. Let's just find GUI text. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So there are 2 matches. This one and this one. Alright, I'm just going to disable them both temporarily. Save that. Sure. And then we should see. What? Why is it still just saying 0? I'm pretty sure those are the only places that. Oh, was it actually in the score script and I'm just a blind person? Yeah, look at that. Super cool. Alright, so actually, let's undisable that other thing there. Yeah. What? What'd you just do? Why would you have done that? I had my cursor at a very specific place and you just decided, no, I'm going to put the cursor in a random other place instead. You rebel. Let's see if that works. I just hit backspace. I just undo a lot. So that one got re-abled. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So now we should quote unquote print to the. Yeah, look at that. All right. So orthographic size is 5 and the text size is 66. So now let's see what the heck is happening in the web browser, in the web player. It does know, in fact, that the orthographic size is 5, but for some reason, it's putting the text size to 0, which is interestingly approximately equivalent to 10, because that looks like text size 10. So, so clearly, if you round up, oh, wait. Display.main.rendering height must be returning 0? It's literally the only realistic thing I can think of, because we can be fairly certain that font. So, did rendering height just get deprecated, and this is how they told me? Or maybe I just haven't been following the updates very closely. Alright, so I'm going to assume rendering height is deprecated, or it just doesn't work on that. Which I think I was actually using something with rendering height more recently, and I realized that there was like another thing to accomplish, like essentially the same thing. I distinctly remember that because then I remember thinking like, well, which one should I use? Display.main.rendering height? I think it was something like screen. It was something screen or like Unity script C# screen something screen dot with screen dot height, I think was the other one. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see what that does. So screen dot height. Better. Let's see. Alright, so it still works here. So yeah, alright. So maybe I just wanted to see screen dot height and was being very passive aggressive about it. Alright, so build and run. Yay, we did it! We saved the world. Alright, well that was fun. I don't know. Okay. So now we'll undo the script hack to like quote unquote print that information. Right, which was I just got distracted because I realized I was being a rude host and I hadn't said, hello Ames X David, thank you for joining us, thank you for tuning in and watching. Let's see. So okay, so now I think all is right in the world. Although I think I'm not using screen height in that other script. And maybe, oh, you know what? I should try this on Android because I've probably ruined everything, and it probably just doesn't work on Android anyway. So I'm gonna do that. Hold on a second, one sec. I just need to get my Android device operational. Fortunately, I thought to start charging it this morning, so it should at least it should at least power on. Let's test this theory now. For some reason, it takes not literally forever, but it takes like practically forever to charge. It's not that old. I don't. No, I guess I have had it for more than a year, but like, I don't know. I took well enough care of it, I thought, and now it takes like an entire day to charge, and it stays charged for like half a day, maybe. Fortunately, it's not my primary device. I have another thing that is. This is the. I don't know how to put the. I don't know if there's like a clever way to like actually get the this screen broadcast, but I'll just hold it up to the camera if there's any pertinent information, and I guess I'll just let things bounce around on the main screen because that's slightly less boring than watching a wall of blank code, or just a wall of code. My device also does this cool thing where at startup it just like freezes for a little while, just hangs out on the screen. I guess it's just not meant to be like powered off. They assume like, if this is your device, then it's going to be powered on like all the time, and it's not meant to be like left off for like a week. Is it still frozen? Probably still frozen, I think. No, okay. Oh man, I took it away at just the wrong time, because right when I looked at it, it did the thing where like it starts working again, and all of the buttons that I pressed while I was frozen just automatically like blah, 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 blah. All right. So, all right, we're not okay. What were we doing? Right. Okay. So now we should be able to debug on it. I forget how to do this. Why are you all stop being orange? Thank you, but stop being orange. Build settings, Android. Build and run, maybe. Right. So this is build quote unquote P7. I'll just call it grav. So that's cool. Loading bar, creating all this stuff, deploying all this stuff. It actually is pretty cool because like it took me a minute to figure out how to set up my device as how to access the developer setting. If anyone's curious, it's like you go into like the device information screen and you tap on like the build number like 7 times or something. I'm not joking. That's even enable. It's literally like a secret password to like a secret knock to like get the developer settings on an Android device. It used to just be like an option in a menu that you could choose. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty good. It didn't ruin things. I forgot to save. I mean, it has the hack for some reason. I guess maybe I just forgot to change that, I guess. It's showing like the hack debug text at the top of the screen. I thought I changed that, but maybe I forgot to save it or something. But yeah. But that's fine, because if it was going to do something screwy, it probably would have done it by now, even with the hack text. Like if it was going to do something else screwy. Like if I'd ruined something other than that hack. Okay, so what then? So I don't know. I mean, it like quote unquote works now, so maybe I should just stop touching it. I kind of want to use screen height and screen width in that other script instead of display main rendering height. Well, I mean, because I wonder what Unity says the differences are. Screen is display information. Screen class can be used to get the list of supported resolutions, switch the current resolution, hide, or show the system mouse pointer. Those are cool things. I was basically just thinking about. So wait, okay. So height is the current height of the screen window in pixels. Width is the current width of the screen window. Screen window. Screen window. Screen window. Okay. And then what was display? Whoops, where'd I go? Bleep bloop. GUI label. I don't think that's. Alright, well, it's not showing up in search results. Actually, well, I'll give one more look before writing it off entirely. Display.main.rendering height. I'll try searching specifically for that. Display.main.rendering height. Alright, whatever. I'm writing it off entirely. Display.main.rendering, etc., is dead to me. Long live screen. .height and screen.width. And just to see if that ruined anything, just to see if how did that hack get into the Android thing? I could have sworn I took it out before building that. Anyways, and alright, now let's do some more sanity checks to see if we ruined everything, or how much of everything we ruined. Alright, so that seems cool. I like, oh, oops, no, that's actually, okay. So then, yeah, so we're running it in the, sorry, I'm just gonna change the way I have stuff laid out here for a second. Because I haven't worked on this project for a while, so I was using like my older, etc., etc. Okay. Right. So then, yeah, Android next. Well, so let's check out Android. See how it's doing. See if see if it still works. See if the hack is gone. Would be nice. A nice thing to discover. And what else? And then after that, we can check the web player. We can upload it. We can check it on my other computer to see if we've now ruined it for my other computer. And okay, good. Yeah, the hack is gone on Android. I don't know why it was ever there in the first place, but I'm gonna call that good to go. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna set my device to charge for a little while longer because I'm going to a thing later and I think I want to take it with me. And yeah, it's been charging for like 3 hours now, so naturally it's at like 20%. So right, yeah. So web build settings, web player, build and run. Still P7. Yeah, still P7. Looking good. I will upload this. I'm not like my website. The only people who know about my website are people who I basically talk to about it, or hypothetically, people who they've talked to about it. But like, my website's still a work in progress. So yeah, if it's well, no, yeah, I guess I'll upload it as like P7. Maybe this literally is P7. P7 is the the build where oops, I'm just gonna put this over here because I forget if it accidentally shows my password anywhere or anything like that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, P7 is the build where I fixed that thing that didn't seem like it should have been broken in the first place. Maybe that's just how it is. What is this? Grav projects P7. Sure. Alright, so I'll create a directory for P7, and that of course won't link from anywhere. So it's incredibly unlikely that anyone will find this, and if it is terribly broken, then fine. We'll have a moment to adjust. Oh, did I? Yeah, I built for Android too. So projects, grav build P7. I'm gonna grab the quickstart.html is the thing with the stuff, and then I think I rename it to P7, I guess. No, build. Why does P6 not have an APK? Why do none of these have APKs? Where are my APKs? Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my APKs aren't here because I exclude them from source control, and I built them on another computer. Alright, sorry. So, if they were here, they'd probably be called grav. Let's see if this web page expects them to be called grav. .apk. Yeah, it wants the APK to be called grav, which it is. And then I think it expects the Unity file to be called build, possibly build.unity3d. Yeah. Alright, so we'll copy this here. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. I know nothing about websites, so hopefully I'm not being super naive about what I'm streaming right now. If I am, please don't hack my internets. So the Android build is taking a moment to upload, but let's see how the rest of it turned out. srsly.bz, grav. Yeah, that one's still like that. P7. Hey, look, it's magically good forever. And it'll never break ever again. Then the Android version. Yeah, that downloads the APK. Alright, so let's ship that, I guess. So, specifically, let's go to grav, and let's replace all those files with these other files instead. I'm going to get rid of build.apk. It was originally called build.apk, and so, yes. It was originally called build.apk, and so I continue to upload the APK as grav and build, because in case people's browsers hadn't refreshed, they might still be looking for looking for the APK by its old file name. But I feel like that was long enough ago that this is probably fine. So yes, overwrite. So I think my other project has the same thing going on. Hopefully that one will be easier to fix now that we understand what was a little bit more about what was happening. So right, let's let's do it. My other project. One of my other projects, the other project that I need to update here is called bbox. Save changes, sure. bbox uses very similar scripts, and again, like the reason the reason what are all those errors about? Wow, there's a lot of errors. Anyways, yeah. So then the reason that both these projects had their scripts is because both of them I had ported to Android, or gotten Android builds up and running. So as with the other one, I'm just gonna rearrange a few things. Oh yeah, the inspector can shrink down a little bit. Okay, so then this should be easy now that we fixed the other one. Scripts. Which scripts do we need to change? Camera. Whichever script is on the camera. Zoom. So yeah, again, display main rendering height. Actually, yeah, let's just wholesale borrow the what we just did with the other one. Zoom. Oops. Zoom. Yeah, because like in some ways this is just tidier, anyways. Look at that, it uses fewer characters and everything. We could basically tweet that. Boom. Yeah, okay. So that should be good. And then the text. This game has 2 text labels, so we either need to update both of them, or I don't know. I think they're in field, yeah, score text and stock text. They both use the same script, so we'll have to update this. Presumably, I mean, maybe we don't, but it stands. What was it? Screen dot height. Sure. And now everything magically works, and we all live happily ever after. Right, so let's see how close to the truth that is. What are we building for first? Android, I guess. Oh, I shouldn't have disconnected my Android device. Well, I mean, we basically tested these changes on Android, right? Maybe we don't have to test it again necessarily, right? Actually, let me just double check that this problem was in fact occurring with this project as well. Oh, whoops, God, that was bbox. Hey, like you could see the text on the screen for a second before it disappeared. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so so now let's build for web and see how that goes. Instead, build. I need a new naming convention because like I never remember like what the P's are, like what those P's mean. Like which P was what? Alright. That one wasn't me. That was just the Unity player crashing. Sorry. Oh, cool. It's vitally important for me to get my windows situated in the exact correct location. No, it really doesn't matter at all. So I'll not bother doing much more than that. And build settings. Web player. Build and run. What? For example, I never remember what the P's mean, because I don't remember if P5 was already here. Oh no, I know how I can check. I'll just... Because if P5 was already there, I would have already uploaded it. Let's see if the website... No, the P5 is the one I just made, I guess. Because I've only released 4 versions of this product. Apparently. But again, this is an excellent reason to come up with a better naming convention. bbox build P5. Yeah, it didn't even make anything last time. So maybe it won't crash this time. Yeah, you have my permission to run. Good. Good stuff. That's what it looks like. That's what the project looks like. So, just because this is one of the projects that I kind of want to show off this evening, or it's like one of the reasons I'm bringing my Android device to the thing that I'm going to this evening. I am going to check just quickly to to make sure we didn't ruin everything. So our Android device connected again, and so let's build for it. Android, build and run. Build p5 dbox.apk. Cool. So, Unity crashes when I build this project. Oh god, Windows sizes. So, build settings, Android, build and run, bbox.apk and p5, save. Well, that's a neat feature. Right, yeah, so just because there's a loading bar doesn't mean I have to stand here idly and do literally nothing. And yet, no, so, alright, well, I was actually expecting to, like, bang my head against the wall for a while longer with these. I assumed, like, the problems and solutions would be, like, just absolutely bizarre and, like, you know, just completely perplexing, but it, look at all this progress we made. Yeah, look, it runs and everything. Well, I didn't actually bother to check if it runs. It loaded. I'm like, that's good enough, right? bbox also has a lot that it needs because the first thing that everyone does when they see bbox is that they try and press the dark brown and like tan buttons, but those aren't buttons. I thought that the square field would be an interesting way to depict the grid, whereas the grid is actually like the negative space of the yellow lines. I don't know. I kind of liked it because it also makes the entire screen look like a smiling robot with one red eye and one green eye, and then a big goofy smile. But yeah, that's one thing I have to change. And then also it has it's I don't know. It's not like a confusing game, but it literally gives you like it gives you like the barest minimum of indication of what to do, which people tend to like a little more than the barest minimum indication. They tend to like a reasonable or helpful amount of information. All right, so I'm gonna upload our new builds of bbox to the internet, and before we do that, we're gonna get it all set up. So let's go back to P4 and borrow this thing. I guess I don't need to do that, actually, because, yeah, it's literally the same file, so, I don't know, it also takes some no size, so it's not like it's harmful to have multiple copies of it. So copy this here, rename it to what the HTML expects it to be, and then put that on the internet. Oh yeah, that's what I copied over, because when I make a new folder, yeah. I mean, again, I don't need to be copying it over, but I just got in that habit. And so then let's also upload to, so that I uploaded it to the B5 folder, and I'm going to upload it to just the bbox folder as well, so that way there's a new build for it, and also like there's a page for the new build, and also the main page is updated with the latest build. So if I try and view it in browser, it's probably going to look like that still. There's like was it Control Shift refresh? No, Control Alt refresh. Alt Shift refresh. No, okay. I know there's a like force refresh, but no, there's not. Anyways, I feel better about my website, I guess. Yeah, only recently did someone point out that was their experience with the website. I wonder how long that has been people's experience with the website. Yay, it's a video game. Video games on the internet. So what now? Wow. I mean, we've only been live for like an hour, but we covered a lot of ground. I was assuming that would take like a lot. Yeah. I didn't really have any specific thing planned next, per se, but I do have other projects to work on, so let's see what is going on with some other projects. One of my other projects in particular. Sorry, now that I'm not building, I'm assuming it's going to stop crashing, and so I'm making my windows how I like them. Which will just take a moment. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. In fact, I'm going to close it so it'll save the settings. Yeah, sure. And then reopen it. And then open project Hero is my current project. I need to, yeah. What is it I can say I need to do? Why is this set for Android? I don't think I've ever built this before, but I want it to think it's a web project, so I guess I will. Oh no, I have built it before. Sure. Alright, yeah, good. Much better. Yeah, no, I don't actually want to play it though. Thank you. So, yeah, here's one of the other games. This one, I guess we're going to look at this for a little while. This one is, sorry, just one moment. This game is, I mean, we didn't really look at bbox. It's like a puzzle game. It's very casually paced. Like the game only does stuff when you press a button, and then it waits for you to press another button. Like it's entirely inert. Sorry, I left Facebook open in the background, and now I have one of those little red dots. Okay, good. I made it go away. That was super important. So now I'm gonna make it go even further away so it doesn't bother me. What was I talking about? Right. So yeah, where Grav is like super arcadey, really frenetic, um, and B-Box is like, super slow. Um, I guess like Hero falls somewhere in the middle. Like the gameplay, which does not exist yet, is intended to be strategic. Um, so it doesn't feel as like it doesn't exist. It's not like in the millisecond like B-Box is. Or excuse me, like Grav is. Like it's not like literally every second, every like constant action, but it it has stuff going on, and actually even you can see here like I'm not interacting with the title, and something's happening on screen. I could interact with the title. Specifically, I can click to make the tall guy walk around and stuff. And I can give him waypoints, which he'll only get to once he's done being distracted. So if I just like click it, it'll just set a waypoint, and he won't actually go to it because he gets so distracted by all the other stuff. But if I click and hold, he'll actually pay attention, and he won't stop doing the other thing that he's doing. He'll just do it while he moves. All the characters in this game have autonomy, so that way, if you don't tell them to do anything else, they'll just like do whatever catches their interest, which in this case is to run up to other people and send them flying. Excuse me. So that's what I have so far. Yeah, that's what I have running so far. The dots that we see on the screen are placeholder for the UI for the project. The only other thing that I really have going is that if you click on the buttons, it prints that you clicked on the button, so it knows what button you clicked on. And then the thing that I was working wow, these guys are going crazy. The thing that I was working on last time that I touched this project, which was like a week ago, not last week, the week before. This button, or like one of these buttons on the bottoms, are intended to be power-ups for your character, or like they're supposed to be like abilities of your character. So the one that I have like partially hooked up, I don't know if it'll necessarily be this button. I think it will be this button. I don't know that for a fact though. Currently what it does is when you click it, it looks at all of the mobs in your vicinity, and it picks some number at random, and the number that it picks is based on the multitude of your element 0 in the power element 0. So like if we bump this up to like 6, then it would return 6 random mobs, and it's returning the indices of the mobs. So the reason it's doing that, hypothetically, when it's set up, it will return the indices of 3 mobs in the area. And then this is a power that like does like kind of an area effect where, it'll probably start at 1, not 3, so it'll return 1 random mob in the area, and then it will send like an explosion to that mob's location. And so, yeah, the next thing that I'm going to do is to set up the other half of the. I'm going to set up the other half of the of this power, which is like once you have these mobs, their indices, again at these, we'll kind of like do the same thing in looking at what other mobs are in the area, because we're going to send all the mobs in the area of these mobs flying into the air. That will be a common theme in this game. Things will go flying quite frequently. And then like some of the other powers that so that's like the bomb type attack. or the bomb type power, and the, uh, I actually haven't decided the third one. I'm still trying to think up what the third one is. The third one used to be these little yellow dudes that follow you around and help you out, but then I decided just to make that like not like a power up that you had to like manage, but that's just like a thing that happens, and then then the little yellow dudes automatically just help you. So, excuse me. Okay. I do want I want the third one to be like very ultimate and very slow, and like I'm doing this this like quality of like multiplicity where like the bombs attack can get multiplied by like, it starts out you just throw out one bomb every time you click the button, but then once you multiply it, you'll send out two bombs every time you hit the button, etc., etc. That's actually how you get the little duders too. If you use the, so yeah, I mean the way that happens is that in addition to getting new abilities, your dude guy, the hero, gets power ups, which can be, or like modifiers, which he can apply to either himself or any of his powers, and or any of his abilities. And so like if you multiply the bombs, if you get a multiplication modifier to the bombs, then you get more bombs. If you add the multiplication modifier to yourself, that's how you get these little yellow dudes. The second power is a dash, where it'll use a similar targeting system, but a slightly varied targeting system. Instead of choosing like a number of mobs up front, it will choose one mob, it will dash to that location, it will choose another mob, dash to that location. Well, it depending on how many times you've multiplied this one, it'll dash that many number of times. And each time it dashes towards that location, it not only is it a speed boost, it'll any mobs in the vicinity will get caught up in, they'll like travel with you, and then wherever your dash ends, then everything gets thrown into the air. And that could be a lot, because like if you have a lot of dashes, then you might sweep up like basically all of the mobs in like a pretty broad range, and then boom, they all go flying into the air. So yeah, so there's going to be a lot of ways to send things flying into the air. And specifically, there's going to be like at least 3 ways, and I haven't figured out what the third one is, because so like yeah, the bombs I want to be like nearly constant, like you could just keep tapping the bomb button and keep throwing bombs. I want the dash to be like you can use it frequently, but not like constantly. Like it takes a little while to recharge after you use it. And then so yeah, then for the third one, I'm wanting something a little longer, like something that you use fairly infrequently. So maybe like something fairly ultimate. Yeah, originally it was like the little duders, because like the tiny yellow duders, and that was you wouldn't summon them very often. It would take you a while before you could summon a new one. But that didn't even feel very ultimate. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try and figure out something for the third one, but I've been trying to figure it out for a while now, so I'm not expecting to come up with something immediately. So yeah, so I guess to get actually started on stuff, we can look at. Sorry, I forgot to turn off notifications on my device. Of course, because I heard a notification, I have to look and see what that notification was. And then, oh right, no, okay, sorry. I'll now put that away. Okay, sorry. Alright, sorry, before I jump into that, I'm going to take a super quick break. I'm going to start that break by posting to social media, and then I'm going to run and refill my water bottle, and then we can get started. So as not to be so extremely boring, I'll at least let the simulation run in the background. Alright, so so last week, and especially yesterday, if you tuned in, you saw me playing or making and playing a game for a game jam, and then it got disqualified. Yay! um, so I was sharing it because I might as well show it to someone, right? All right, so yeah, so that's the. I'll leave the simulation running, I guess, and then yeah, sure. All right, so I'll be right back. Un momento. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm back. Yay. Uh, so, how's it going? Yeah, look at that simulation run. Simulating stuff, physics and whatnot. Hey, oh, hey, Drystock, sorry. Yeah, I just stepped away for a second. Hey, yeah, so, yeah, some of this might be, you might recognize some of the systems going on in the simulation here. Oh, hey, Charzocks, I just fixed the games on my website. So I was seeing the same thing that you had been describing on my computer, and I just updated it so they work on my computer now. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll work on yours too. But yeah, so yeah, I thought I was going to be troubleshooting that like basically all today, but that went faster than expected. So now I'm going back to yeah, yeah. Whenever you get a chance. So yeah, so now I'm going back to the project that I've been working on prior to last week, which some of it is probably going to be a little familiar because this is the project that I was borrowing code from to make the project that I was working on last week. So now instead of like all different color shapes, or all different, yeah, all different shapes of all different colors, in this one there's a little more which is a little more team based. You can kind of see it's kind of like the the squares are on one team, and then the spheres are kind of on another team, like yellow versus green a little bit. So yeah, I was just letting the simulation run while I stepped away, but I'm actually planning on working on this thing a bit today. I'm not going to be online super long. I'm probably going to be online for another hour and 15 minutes. Actually, maybe like an hour and 10 minutes. I just have to go to a thing later. But it'll be close to midnight by then anyways, so you probably won't be watching anyways. So before the break, I was just explaining like what comes next in the project, and all right, so that works out well. Hopefully I'll be able to get at least one of these powers working more than it is now. The buttons on the bottom of the screen represent abilities that the hero will have for this game, and so the one that I have like partially working so far is that whenever I click this button in the bottom right corner, we see a list of mob indexes at the bottom of the screen, and specifically those are like 3 random mobs from within a given radius of the hero. And so really all the button's doing right now is it's choosing mobs as potential targets, and like that can scale up or scale down. Currently it's set to choose 3 mobs. Like I can set it to choose like the 12 nearest mobs, because like as the game goes on, you might get this ability might get stronger and stronger, so that like it'll return basically however many mobs you ask for. And if you ask for like too many, like if you ask for 200 mobs, if you're in the middle of a swarm of 200 mobs, it'll actually return 200 mobs. But you can see when I clicked, I set it to 200, but when I clicked it just then, like there was literally only 1 mob in range at that time. So it basically looks for as many mobs as it can, up to the number that you specify, and it chooses like a variety as well. Like from all the mobs in the area, it returns like random ones, and like it doesn't do duplicates. That was what I had set up just before, setting this project aside for a moment to work on the other one. Oh yeah, no, I actually quite the opposite of sitting down. I'm actually standing on a small exercise device. So if you see me bobbing up and down, it's actually because like I have not been exercising much lately, and I try to here and there. So sometimes like when I'm at my desk, I'll just go like this. It's I apologize if that gets distracting. I probably won't do it too much, because like when I'm focused intently on something, I tend not to do it. It's usually like if I'm playing games on my computer, that's actually when I'll do it the most. But if you see me doing that, that's what that's about. So okay, right. So let's jump over to mono develop. This was the other project that we were looking at. Let's open up Hero. That is the project that we're looking at currently. Wait, what? There's no zoom or score in this project. I don't know why you're... Or is there? I don't think so. I think that's looking at the other project. Alright, but yeah, this is the one that we want. No, this isn't it at all. Why did you think this isn't Hero? That's weird. No, Hero has scripts like play is the main script in Hero. Okay, I don't know what that was about. So yeah, play is where we were setting up the powers, or where I was setting up the powers a couple weeks ago. And it has been a little while, so I will need to refamiliarize myself just slightly. As I recall correctly, the UI indicates which power to activate, and the power activates on the next fixed update. It does that so that it can leverage the physics system that pushes mobs around, and so basically, like when the physics system is checking the proximity of mobs, like how close the mobs are in relation to each other, it also starts, it considers the targeting system as well. So like a lot of times the targeting system doesn't even run for a given mob, because if that mob is already bumping up against something that it knows is a valid target, then it knows that it's already in range of a valid target and doesn't bother looking around. And so then in the same way, this multi-targeting system, this system that takes like a number of targets from the area, it tries to leverage the physics system, then it tries to leverage the targeting system, and then it fills in the rest. So right. So yeah, I remember that much. So then we have like power activation, which is what's doing what we saw in terms of like that one button press. This is power 0. So yes, it's just returning integers. It's doing a scan range multi of 0. I forget what scan range. Yes. Oh, here it is. Scan range multi was the thing that I set up just before. It was like the last thing I did on this project. So it takes the mob index, which in this case is the hero, so 0. The hero is mob 0 in this game, and then it takes the number of targets you want, which in this case is index 0 of power MLT. This is there are 3 elements in this representing each of the powers. So like as you level up the first power, power 0, this value will increase as you level up the other ones, the other power, the other elements in this array will increase. So 0 is the minimum distance. So like for the dash attack, I want not to accidentally select a mob that's too nearby. I might have like a fallback case. So like if there are mobs nearby and none of them are especially far away, like if they're all nearby, like I think I'm gonna have it set up so first it'll run the scan range multi with a minimum distance, and then if you don't get enough results, or well, actually no, for dash you only need 1 target. So yeah, if it runs with a further range and returns 0 targets, then it'll probably run in like a shorter range, maybe incrementally. So I don't know. I mean, these don't happen very often, so even if that's like a slightly expensive operation, like it's okay to really I don't think you'll be dashing more than once every like 10 seconds or so. So yeah, not too computationally expensive. Power range. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. So then the maximum range. So I forget what we had it set to before. It's probably somewhere around 5 or something. 7. So yeah. So when we were simulating it, then it was looking for 3 mobs within 7 units. A unit is just for reference in this game. A unit is the width of the hero. So for example, the hero is a rectangular prism that is 1 unit wide, 1 unit wide, or deep, I guess, and 2 units tall. And his little friends are little cubes of 1 unit each. And then the mobs are spheres with a radius or a diameter of 1, radius of 1/2. So, right. So yeah, all this power actually does right now is it gets scan range multi for the power based on the power's multiplier. I'm probably gonna, if I say like anything that starts with mult is probably referring to like this value here, like multitudinous fullness. And it's so the power's range, and it's all centered around the hero. And right now it just prints the results, but instead I think we will probably want to actually do something with those results. So we actually have the for loops for the print operation, But let's use this for loop for something more productive, or let's also use it for something that will actually make the game work how we want it to work. So we now have some number of mobs. It could just be one mob. Actually, it could be 0 mobs. Because if you try and activate it and there's 0 mobs in range, then technically nothing happens. Which is fine, I guess, because this for loop will just get skipped entirely, because 0 will never be less than... I will never be less than the scan range multi results dot length. In the case that only 1 is returned, for example, the for loop will just evaluate once. And then for every other case, it'll do this however many times it needs. There's one thing that I haven't started implementing yet, but I did start thinking about. Like, hypothetically, if you have 10 bombs, like if your multiplicity is up to 10, and there are only 2 mobs in range, and they're standing right next to each other, they're each going to get hit by 5 bombs, and they're probably going to, if they're next to each other, they're probably each going to get hit by the other's bombs as well. So if I just stack, if I just go straight additive with the explosions knockback, we might get really bizarre results. I want these, so you probably noticed while the simulation was running, dudes get knocked around a bit, because that's what the the yellow cube people do when they find the green spheres. They knock them around, and so to make these bombs really noticeable, I want a significant amount of toss into the air when mobs get hit by these. In order to have a significant impact from 1 bomb, but to not have 10 or so bombs, and I don't even know exactly how high this number will be. It might not be as high as 10. It might be the game might only reasonably ever present maybe 5 opportunities or something. I don't know. But the game is about customization too, so there are probably, even if it's not common, there's probably going to be the option to just really stack all of your multiplier modifiers on this one power, and I don't necessarily want to discourage that. I think essentially I'm thinking I might want a system of diminishing returns. So I guess I could do a jagged array for basically all the mobs hit, all of the affected mobs, but the bombs you kind of can spam. I want you to be able to activate the bombs ability I don't know, maybe multiple times per second, hypothetically. Maybe I should just drop the concept of multiplicity. Maybe I should make it so rare that I can so that even in the case that a player stacks it all onto 1 power, they still don't end up with that many. Maybe in the entire playthrough I cap it out at 5. I don't know though. I really like the little my quote unquote pet power in this game is the little dudes that follow you around. I don't know. Those are always my favorite parts of games. Not always my favorite, but I don't know. I like having a little army of duders that help you out. So I was planning on having those created by the multiplicity system. So I don't want to limit it too much. Either way, we do know some of what so whether the system has diminishing returns implemented or not. I guess we do know a bit about at least where to start. that is, we have to run scan range multi again for each of these mobs. We the way I set up scan range multi, if you don't specify how many mobs you're looking for, if you just input 0 for the number of targets to find, it'll just return all of the targets in range. So that's what we'll want, because like explosions don't discriminate; they'll just hit everything within the given radius. There's not a separate range value for the explosion radius, so it's probably just going to be like, I don't know, like a fifth, or maybe like a fourth of the, maybe like a fifth of the power's radius. So yeah, one of the other ways you can modify your abilities is to add range, and so when you add range to your bombs, not only can you throw them farther, but they'll also hit a larger range. Right now we're just adding to the string to print the results of scan range multi, but now let's run scan range multi again. So we'll get a new int. Let's call this affected, affected, and mobs affected, and that will equal scan range multi. So yeah, this time it'll be centered around the result of the first scan range multi. So srmi is the center. The number will be all of them. So we'll just say 0. Like don't limit the results. The minimum range will be 0 again, because if anything, the ones at the center will be hit the hardest. And then yes. Yeah, scan range multi centers around a mob always, because it doesn't ask for the position of the scan It only asks for a mob, and it uses that mob's position. I was thinking of possibly changing that. I'll think harder about it, because I didn't change it, so maybe I came up with a reason eventually not to do so. Okay, so so then the maximum range, I said, I think for starters, let's say it's 1/4 of the full range of the power. Alright, and then now we could just put in another for loop and iterate across all of those, and give them some knockback, and then so then in that case, the mobs who are affected by multiple explosions will probably go flying pretty far, and I guess that we'll see, we'll assess the damage once we've implemented it and seen it in action. So again, let's iterate. So now I'll just call it no, I use mi to indicate other things. So like I am way better equals 0. I am less than I am less than affect dot length. So then I am plus plus, and then in order to make the explosion noticeably knock mobs into the air, the base of the explosion will actually be somewhat underground. It'll be beneath the position of the central mob. So forget if scan range multi. I don't think scan range multi takes into account vertical height. I think hypothetically, like if a mob was a mile above the center of the scan, like it would still like return as quote unquote in range. I mean, I could look that up, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. Because the way it leverages the grid system, there's like an invisible grid in the game that serves to facilitate some like distance checks. So the other thing we'll want to do is to check we'll want to check the distance between the quote unquote affected mobs and the center of the explosion, because for several reasons. Some of them might be so far above the explosion that they're actually not affected, and also we'll probably want to scale the effect of the explosion slightly based on proximity to the explosion. So the mobs at the dead center get sent flying a little bit further than the mobs like out towards the edges. The reason we're positioning the reason we're positioning the actual center of the explosion underground, so that the mobs at the edges still get some upward acceleration as well as getting thrown outwards. So to do that, we will say actually so outside of the 4, let's say vector 3 center. So the center of the explosion is equal to mobs SRM I. So SRM I. So the mob with the index of the scan range multi-result that we're currently iterating over vector 3 center equals new vector 3. The x value is the x value of the mob. The y value is beneath the mob, so it will be actually, there's a slightly cleaner way to write this. So center equals the position of this mob minus new vector 0. We're not modifying the x value. We are modifying the y value, and let's say the rough size and shape. Oh, we should do this based on range also, because we'll want this to scale as the size of the explosion scales as well. So, all right. So if the radius is 1/4 of the range of this power, then let's go like 1/2 the range down, just so that way, maybe only 1/3 or so, maybe 1/3 of the way down. That way, all of the knockback velocities on the mobs will be predominantly upward, and outward, lateral knockback is actually not especially fun for this game, because the further you knock mobs around, the more time you just spend chasing them. The more you knock them up, it just adds a playful sort of really overt visual indication that what you just did had an effect. So we want it to be predominantly up, I think, I don't know, maybe I'll call it 0.4, which is kind of between a third and a half. So power range times 0.4, pow underscore range index 0 times 0.4 f, and then we're not affecting the z coordinate either. With the z coordinate is just the mob's position coordinate. Okay, so now that we have the center, we can say knockback knockback of index mob affected index im, what we're iterating over, plus equals what? So it'll be a vector based on the position of this mob m effect im, minus the center that we calculated. So I tend to forget which way to subtract vectors, subtract positions from each other to get the vector that I want. But I might accidentally reverse it. I might accidentally send them flying into the ground at first. So all right. This is the index of the mob that we want to affect. Mobs index this dot position transform dot position, and then so let's subtract then center, and we'll want it to be I guess we don't have to like normalize this, or like we can let the scale of this. Oh no. Yeah. We kind of want like, cuz these vectors will be longer for the mobs on the periphery, and we want those mobs to be less affected. The mobs on the periphery less effective. So so actually, okay, let's say vector 3 offset equals this vector. So then let's say actually the knockback will be offset normalized. Offset is a vector 3. I want to normalize it. Whatever. I didn't end this statement. Normalized times something, some value, or offset normalized divided by offset dot length times, wait, what? Oh, magnitude, not length. And then times some multiplier. Oh, well, actually, one of the multipliers will be the power of the power, I think, is a thing. Or the strength of the power. What did I call it? This is still running. Yeah, the strength of the power. So pow strength 0. This is still power 0 that we're working with. Actually, I'm putting in these zeros, but just in case I want to rearrange these cases or renumber the powers, I'm going to actually use the pow variable, which is what got us here in the first place. So yeah, just, I don't know, maybe won't affect anything, but is slightly more sanitary to write as such. So, alright, so yeah, this power, the power that we're activating. I guess we can see how that goes. And then that might be like a supremely overpowered effect, or it might be supremely underpowered. We can tune it accordingly. We'll probably want to drop in another variable as a multiplier to tune it. And actually, yeah, I guess we might as well do that now. So probably gonna have a lot of these. So I guess there's not really any getting around that. This project it has a decent sized scale to it. So let's call this explosion force. And we can't just will it into existence. We actually have to put it somewhere. I'll put it with the other power stuff, so that at least it's with its friends. Public float explosion force, which would also be a great name for cartoon show about a squad of special agents. Explosion force. So I'm going to start it at 1 though, because I'm assuming we'll need it, but I don't know what we'll need it to be, or even which direction we'll need it to scale. So where were we? We're here. Explosion force. And I guess that's kind of something. That's like an implementation. It's probably going to be a really rough implementation, but it's only one way to find that out. Stop. And then go. Boom. Nope. Boom. 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 Explosions! Really? Alright, so either explosions are infinitesimally small, or like so small as, to be imperceptible, or... Oh, actually, my first guess is that I got the polarity of the explosion wrong. So let's try saying minus equals. I do that more than most errors. Nope. Okay, that probably wasn't it. Or it was. And there's also other things. So yeah, let's see what we're dealing with here. I mean, that was a pretty big magnitude. So maybe we just need more explosion force. Explosion force of 10. Let's see how noticeable that is. Still not apparently doing anything. All right, just for sanity's sake, I'm going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to cut out the knockback. Cut out the other knockback effects so that way we don't. When it works, we'll see exactly what's going flying around without all the clutter of like all the other things flying around. And that's not the only knockback situation. There are 2. One for your friends and one for you, I think. Or no, maybe. No, maybe actually no. Maybe I unified it, and that was literally the only one. All right, let's double check. Knock. Oh wow. A lot of references to knockback, but I think the other ones are like processing of knockback, not the application of knockback. Yeah. Yep. All right. That was the only reference. That was the only place in which knockback got applied. So now when we go back to the simulation, dudes should just like walk up next to each other and then not do anything. Yeah, they're just kind of hanging out. All right, so hypothetically, if we were to see any knockback. All right, so maybe I had the polarity correct the first time around.